Every year, European taxpayers pay roughly €50 billion into the Common Agricultural Policy. Direct payments to farmers and landowners are paid per hectare. The more eligible land you own, which means clearing it for production, the more public money you get. What's called marginal land is often regarded as worthless. But this kind of land can be very productive in a different kind of way.
Farmers would completely dismiss this land for farming. They'd look at it and say, how can I produce food on this land? But that's because, from terms of the subsidy system, they haven't been paid to do that. Look at this land in a different way, get paid for it in a different way, to produce biodiversity, in a different ballgame altogether.
This year, the Common Agricultural Policy for 2020 will be debated. It's already clear that taxpayers want more for their money, and there will be an enhanced focus on environmental improvements. A pilot project in Leitrim may end up influencing what is agreed. This EU-funded scheme pays farmers to produce not just food, but also public goods, such as biodiversity and clean air and water. There are 3 pilot sites: Leitrim, the Shannon Callows, and the Navarra region in Spain. Dr. James Moran from Sligo Institute of Technology is heading up the project here.
With this scheme, what we're trying to do is to say, right, this is a field that has these conditions. It has X, Y, and Z flowers. If you have more flowers, more biodiversity, higher water quality, more carbon sequestration, more flood alleviation on your land, you get a higher payment. So the same as a farmer brings an animal to market. So he brings a poor quality animal, he gets a poor price. He brings a poor quality environmental product, he gets a poor price.
Dr. Dolores Byrne is a farmer near Dromahair in County Sligo. As well as managing 30 hectares of land, she's also an ecologist at Sligo Institute of Technology with James Moran. As the coordinator of this scheme, she works with the farmers involved.
Does that make it easier when you're dealing with the farmers who are on this pilot scheme?
Yeah, absolutely.
They trust you more.
They do, and there's a shared common history of farming in Leitrim, which is never easy and is always fighting environmental and climate constraints. But also there's the idea that they understand that I understand them. And that makes a huge difference to their level of engagement, because this is a novel type of scheme for them. So they needed some encouragement to be open to this type of project taking place. And I think it helps that there's somebody from the local area who knows farming who's involved in the scheme and can talk them through the farming side and the scientific side.
Dolores improves the biodiversity of her own fields by keeping her cattle outside in the fields throughout the year.
This land here is actually very good for a rare butterfly called the marsh fritillary butterfly. And overwintering cattle actually keeps the land in quite good condition for them, because it eats away some of the old dead grass that might grow up during the winter, and that makes the land in very good condition then for growing the plant that they need called devil's bit scabious in the summertime.
So having the cattle out during the winter then enhances biodiversity
yes,
come spring
absolutely,
and summer?
Yes, it's my way of achieving the result that I want on this land. I could spend a lot of money and effort trying to intensify this land, and it would never produce huge quantities of livestock. So my option then here is to produce as much livestock as I can, but also environmental goods like good quality grassland with lots of different plants, and the marsh fritillary butterfly, which is protected in Europe. I've counted up to 200 different types of plants on that piece of land up there.
Thomas Healy's mixed upland farm is on the Sligo-Leitrim border in Fon Lyon. He's in this scheme. Part of his farmland is hugely biodiverse, and with Dolores' help, and thanks to public money, he now realises just how valuable these fields are.
This is more valuable now than the green land nearly, you know.
That's it, exactly, yeah.
Did you know before she spoke to you just how valuable your land was?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know how valuable it was, like that kind of land, like, you know. Because you have the good land here, you see, and that you'll have more value on it, like, you know, and you can fertilise it, and that's, you know, it's a big bonus, like, you know, big bonus, and know there's something there for about that part of it, that part of the land, like, you know.
Yeah. How has it changed the way you farm, or has it changed?
Well, I do farm the same, and it didn't change, like, you know. Didn't change, like, you know, no.
This scheme is low on paperwork, and farmers are given full control. Fields are marked from 0 to 10. The higher the environmental quality, the higher the score, and a 10 out of 10 field pays the greatest subsidy to the farmer.
What is the difference between a 10 out of 10 field in terms of payments and a, say, 2 out of 10 field?
A 2 out of 10 field is probably a field that the farmer is putting fertiliser on and really maximising his livestock production on. A 10 out of 10 field is one where the farmer is maximising the environmental product. So in Leitrim, the top score, 10 out of 10, will get you €350 per hectare.
Per year?
Per year. That doesn't really cover the opportunity that the farmer is losing to convert land like this into forestry. There's higher premiums available for forestry. So we suggest perhaps if there's a real market to be created for these environmental goods, that you match the market that's out there for forestry.
An increase in biodiversity isn't just beneficial to farmers and the public, it can also boost local economies by making the landscape attractive to tourists.
Thank you.
A pilot stretch of greenway has recently been opened in Dromahair. It's along the old Sligo-Leitrim railway line.
Julian, what has all this got to do with this pilot scheme paying farmers for biodiversity and public goods on farms?
Okay, so the greenway sits within a wider landscape that is shaped and sculpted through traditions and generations of small-scale farming. So the farmer is critical here, not only for allowing permissive access through lands, for example, but in maintaining and keeping this attractive landscape that brings tourism and people into these areas.
The results of this small but very significant project in Leitrim may reshape EU farm policy for decades to come, something that could benefit everyone.
Society needs all this. Society is putting 50 billion into the Common Agricultural Policy budget each year to actually get the products of clean air, clean water, high biodiversity, beautiful landscapes, high animal welfare standards, high quality food. And farmers, when they actually do this and do it to a certain standard, should be rewarded and paid accordingly.